with a major opportunity here. In front of a gargantuan crowd. A big day and a major moment in front of 60,000 plus at M&T Bank Stadium. DC United into Miami. Kickoff is next.
of course, going to happen when you have the MLS Cup champions going against a team that finished in last place the season prior. So the onus is on DC here in Baltimore to try to change the narrative, and what better crowd to do it in front of? 65,000 here today.
From an officiating perspective, Philip Tujic, the 32-year-old from Toronto, an MLS referee since 2022, and the FIFA-appointed referee since 2024 in charge today. From a VAR perspective, Jorge Gonzalez, with over 200 matches officiated on his footballing resume. And so, good afternoon to you, wherever you're watching from. Baltimore, the venue today, a place with a soccer history of its own. The Baltimore Bays in the NASL have their time. The uber-successful Baltimore Blast captured the imagination of thousands, but this is on a different scale. Today, Baltimore welcomes the modern, glinty, thought-provoking power that is Major League Soccer and the best player in the world. We're all set to go in front of a gargantuan, record-setting crowd of 60,000 plus here at M&T Bank Stadium. We're all here to see the greatest player in the world, or perhaps a potential upset and a victory for DC United. Away we go. The meeting of the original champions and the current kings, the new and the now against the old guard and the original standard bearer. Amongst the cacophony, the spectacle that is a grand occasion for all, but Caleb Carr, today, business to take care of for both.
Yeah, absolutely, and for DC, a lot of it is about change. In the Coliseum in that first half again. signing who got the goal in that home opening win against his former side, Philadelphia Union.
Finnish international. Centre of midfield for DC. It's the heel split. The free kick to today's home side.
One big change that I see from that home opener win for DC is the starting position. Jackson Hopkins moving him up top to pair with Haribo. You see them looking to go direct at times and in transition, and adds a little bit more pace and size versus some of the more smaller pieces with Peglo and Pirani on the wings instead, allowing them to have that direct option and use Jackson Hopkins to see if they can get on the break, pairing up top with Haribo.
On the far side, throw for Inter Miami. They ended the regular season last year with 19 victories. Mikael, going from Balmeidas. From Dynamo, of course. It's Falcon. Allowed 55 goals last season. Just 8 clean sheets in all competitions. It needs some shuffling and readjusting. Alderson. Noah Allen. Mikael. Well, Libertadores finalist with Balmeidas again. Rodrigo de Paul. Tiny away for Champions League. He's the former Houston Dynamo man once more.
I think this is a part of it too. When you don't have Sergio Busquets who's retired, you need that ball progression. They've asked at times some of it.
Mikael. Well, Libertadores finalist with Balmeidas again. Rodrigo de Paul. Tiny away for Champions League quarter-finalist with Atletico Madrid. With glistening footballing resume. Winner, of course, alongside Lionel Messi. Mura. Mikael once again.
DC are going to be smart here, picking their moments when they want to press. Don't want to try to commit too many numbers forward and deep space in behind with Messi and Bertarame lurking just up top. Or leave numbers forward, but the length of the pass is generally the trigger point when you can try to make that press.
Silvetti set on his way for a moment, and now a throw for DC. Of course, find themselves under that man at the moment, René Weiler. Welcoming the challenge and the spectacle of today. Miami, of course, the benchmark in Major League Soccer. Today we have to defend perfectly to limit space on the edge of the penalty area.
We saw promising
in the initial instance, and now a corner for DC. For Dane St Clair to do. Goals scored last season for DC United, almost across the entirety of the league. They find a goal here, find a way back into the contest. Before the referee has a little word with one or two. All apologetic. Can DC United conjure here? Ball, to be punched away by Dane St Clair. DC once more, lovely ball in, Bartlett back from whence it came, Bartlett again, Falcon had to intervene, Dane St Clair is there to smother. Get into Miami, off and running again. Messi. But in the end by Hefty. To retreat to Sean Johnson. DC once more, lovely ball in, Bartlett back from whence it came, Bartlett again, Falcon has to intervene to it, Dane St Clair is there to smother. Get into Miami, off and running again. Centre forward today. Played on the far side by Allen, thrown up for DC, in the end by Hefty.
DC go more direct as of late. He got caught for that first goal that put them in the hole, trying to play out of the back, and now a little more pragmatic. He got caught for that first goal that put them in the hole, trying to play out of the back, and now a little more pragmatic and going direct.
Irani, Alcala, and Kurakawa into the stands. The player comparison is presented by Celsius. Your passion and maximum energy with zero sugar. Either the ball has certainly been the livelier of the two between him and Jackson Hopkins thus far, Caleb.
Yeah, he covers so much ground, and it's such an integral piece, especially of Inter Miami this season. But in the final third is really where he comes alive and shows the quality of the finish.
Across, cleared away, Tirani and Hopkins. The end, well wide of the intended target. Signs of life in front of goal though for DC United.
They have to figure out different ways to manufacture chances, and there's numbers committed in the box. It's all wrong there from Jackson Hopkins there, but set pieces, you saw them, he Bartlett up a few times. All wrong and ends up going off Pirani and out.
Very quickly, defence on the line set of DC United. Mikhail. Segovia. To Bright. Pass in between the boy from Milan and now behind, and Kawa had to be on top of things. Slovenia evading Messi. Hopkins. Homegrown surveying the scene. Elfala. Into the wide areas. Hefty. He thought about it. Hefty does shoot. His body's able to get ahead of the ball. Take low. Irrigating ball to the far post. Into Miami, duly dispatched. Mikhail. The ball. Kick. The way of into Miami. Joining us late, he got the goal scoring started. Surprisingly then, Lionel Messi added a second. Too much from Tyberibo in the opening half an hour, Caleb Carr. How do they get him more involved in the game?
He looked frustrated, and we saw some of this last week as well, away at Austin. And striker where you're not getting service in the box, and that's been a big question mark for me this season, is how does he get his chances? He's dependent on service. He's not a Christian Benteke type player where you can just route one it to him. Really threatening in behind as of yet, so they have to create chances for him. Against the ball is where he's been trying to make an impact, but a little late challenge there that Paul took exception to.
Gael. Allen. The ball over the top. Johnson came racing off his line and was able to gather. Well, the first ever Formula One race on Apple TV is streaming live tonight. Feel the rush of the Australian Grand Prix at 11 p.m. Eastern as the world's fastest drivers push the absolute limits. Pure speed, unfiltered drama. Watch it live on Apple TV, the new US home of Formula One. It's Miami off to the races here in Baltimore. By 2 goals to 0. Perspective, Caleb Carr, what will Bio be saying to his players at this point of the contest?
It looks like they've stepped up their line of confrontation and made a slight switch as well.
They open up an opportunity. It's Pirani! Very, very good challenge by Bright. A goal-saving challenge. Yannick Bright arriving in the nick of time for Inter Miami.
I was mentioning one of the changes was putting Pirani up front instead of Jackson Hopkins, and he ends up right at the penalty spot, but doesn't have a sense of the time and pressure that's coming from behind him. Yannick Bright makes a perfect tackle from behind to recover. Save what should have been a sure goal for DC United.
Pirani, of course, joining from Santos in the Brasileirão back in 2023. 7 goals last season, him to score this campaign. Here's De Paul into Messi. Ura providing support from the wide areas. Messi looking to manoeuvre inside though. Messi!
Just looked like there's no danger. DC United had Leo Messi.
He makes the spectacular look simple. Coming within an inch of adding a third for Inter Miami. Here's Savania. Cushioning into the path of Baribo, the Israeli international. Roberto now on defensive duties. To the starting 11 for those who will be joining us late in place of Ayete, who finds himself on the bench. Here come Miami again. Plenty of space to work with. Veterane. Ura, Messi, put away for now. Miami quickly regaining possession. Opting to retreat. Studiantes and Russian Klubman. Right in the centre of midfield. Still a challenge in the Miami penalty area. The United States for college in 2020, of course. The programme in New Hampshire. Raised in Milan, though, has settled into life in Major League Soccer. Miami look to make it 3. Messi. Ball flipped away from him at the vital moment. Eventually clearing their line. Baribo cleverly inside for Pirani. Hopkins. Anton able to read the pass.
This is the chance with Pirani. I think that's a great tackle there from Yannick Bright to come and reach around the player. To me, that's great tackle, getting the ball, has to be perfect. And that's the difference from Bryce coming into the 11 this season. Was not a starter last season, and sometimes in transition, there was nobody who could cover that ground defensively, and perfectly timed tackle there. And a chance that, frankly, you have to say, has to be a goal from Pirani. You don't get many chances against Inter Miami. You have to finish them. The margins are too small. They're too ruthless going the other way. A big opportunity missed and a big-time tackle there in the middle of midfield from Yannick Bryce.
Certainly himself as a regular now in this starting lineup for Inter Miami. They have some defending to do. Kael able to get the better of Pirani. Messi. Segovia. Of course, last year after the time of the Portuguese top flight, 19 goals, 4 assists in all competitions last season for the Venezuelan. Come Miami again. De Paul. Messi. Rodrigo De Paul. To the back post it goes. Messi back from whence it came. No takers this time for Inter Miami. Here's Barrido. Helpfala. Miami wiggling away from the ball and winning a free kick to DC United. Well, these are the team benches built by the Home Depot. We see the likes of Canoe and Aidan Clark perhaps being introduced at some point with DC chasing the game. Suarez, I'm sure, will be eager to enter the field, as will the likes of Ayala and Allende. Berterame, the first goal in Major League Soccer. Messi. Right. Into Miami now looking very, very comfortable indeed.
Yeah, this is more of what we expected to see coming into the season, but they still will give you a few chances off mistakes. And think back to the LAFC match or the Orlando City match last week. They made them pay. When those chances arrive, that's the difference. Orlando City, LAFC, they had the pieces to put it away, and DC have gotten into a few dangerous spots and just haven't been able to take their chances.
Eager to play. Peglo. Brazilians combining. Pirani unable to squeeze through. Berterame brings it forward to Lionel Messi. Miami looking to press again. Messi. Full host of players around him. Silvetti. To the back post now for Berterame. Just out of reach. The Inter Miami centre forward.
They're still trying to get Berterame going, understanding his movement, where he likes the ball, into Mascherano during the week. And it's about trying to keep him centrally. Times where he'll drift a little bit towards the left flank, and you want to keep him in and around the box where he is just deadly. For against Inter Miami for Rayados Monterrey. Cup Champions Cup as Miami went out, and for me, statement of intent was going out and making a signing of his profile for $15 million. To me, that says we want to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup. We're not going to rest on our laurels, and they can get him going and get him connected, understanding with Messi and company. It's scary.
Kael. Touch the ball away from danger. It's a throw to Miami. Just the other day that actually prepared for this game, almost like an away game. Arrived in Baltimore yesterday. It's now played amongst near carnival-like atmosphere. For Inter Miami, you've played in occasions like this, Kevin, during your time at Chicago Fire alongside Baltimore Blanco. Do you even begin to prepare for an occasion like this psychologically?
That was a little different because we generally had the Mexican affection behind us even in away games. And that's what Inter Miami sometimes we're able to enjoy. A little bit more pink here, although I have to say a ton of black for DC, but the challenge for them is to try to turn the crowd in their favor, to use it as an advantage, and right now, Inter Miami have taken the sting out of the game.
2 extra minutes. The end of what has been an entertaining opening 45 here in Baltimore. 1,000 plus in attendance. DC United against the current champions of Major League Soccer. Gale. Sinclair. Making purposeful saves thus far. It's the Canadian international again. It was a huge year for him. Best 10 clean sheets last season with Minnesota United. With a deal with then Eric Ramsey's side since joined the new project. It's Miami. Persuading Dane Sinclair to make his way to South Florida. Last season, MLS regular season play. Here's Messi, away from Bartlett and Co. into Silvetti as Miami look to make it 3 before the break. Bartlett across to make the challenge and win the free kick. Good piece of defending. So as the half comes to a close, Kalen Carr, your observation of the contest?
Inter Miami in total control, comfortable, DC sitting back, and the one mistake put them underneath it, and Bertarame deserves a ton of credit for creating it, and DePaul finishes it from there. They continue to put on, and 2-0, much better start for Inter Miami.
So goals from the Argentines as it stands. DePaul and Messi give Inter Miami a scoreline of 2-0 at the break in front of 60,000 plus. Stay with us, more to come after the break. The Home Depot. Perdón si soy reiterativo. Lo gana muy cómodo el Inter de Miami, 2-0.
Sí, dependerá que la historia cambie en la medida que haga algo diferente a DC United, que está sometido, está controlado, está siendo derrotado parcialmente. Tiene que hacer algo, pero insisto, muy bien coordinado partiendo del orden y de atrás.
Va el gol en la apertura hasta la derecha con Mura. Uno de los 3 jugadores en el terreno de juego que utiliza guantes, Rodrigo de Paul. Pero es el único que a pesar de los guantes no la puede agarrar con la mano.
Es para el frío, no para agarrar la pelota. Quiero dar un mérito especial a Mascherano, porque esta rotación, esta modificación en la estructura del equipo y del planteamiento hoy es el técnico, es el jugador.
Ya subió la temperatura 55 Fahrenheit, 13 centígrados. Allá va DC United. Kurokawa. Juego por abajo con Gabriel Pirani. Estaba saliendo bonita la jugada, ¿no?
Sí, jugada por atrás y de taquito. Ahora,
mira la pantalla.
Mira, está Don Luis. Pero fíjate que un gol caería muy bien al partido de United porque, bueno, debería apretar un poquito la situación, pero si no, va a transcurrir el tiempo y el marcador a favor de la visita sin problema.
Sinclair. Pues mira, llevamos 2 minutos y la postura del Inter Miami sigue siendo la misma. Tranquilo.
Sí, y también es cierto, sabe, el equipo local que tiene 45 minutos para revertir esto, entonces tampoco trae prisa.
A ver, Bracamontes, esta es la probabilidad de ganar.
Sí, creo que le voy a apostar ahora licenciado a Miami porque está clarito 95 licenciado contra top sobre DC United, pero bueno, lo que estamos viendo y el marcador así lo refleja.
Mira, yo hago el silencio y el ritmo del Inter lo marcan ellos sin desgastarse. Abajo en pantalla las alineaciones de los 22 que siguen todavía en el terreno de juego porque no ha habido modificaciones.
Tampoco no saben, el equipo tiene claro que no van a regalar un metro defensivamente, todos van a las caíditas para el frente, me refiero a localizar, no va a dejar ni un hueco.
Segovia recibió de Messi, va con Silvetti, viene Mateo, ahora es Noah Allen. Velasco Segovia juega por abajo, por lo menos intentaba un pase filtrado muy atractivo. Buena Messi, devolución. Creo en última instancia de la jugada. Algún defensor de DC United punteó la pelota y le quedó cómoda al guardameta Sean Johnson.
Ahí es donde tiene que cambiar el gol, tiene que salir más rápido, buscar tomar un poco desubicado al equipo de Miami cuando viene el ataque, pero si lo haces pausado, regresan rápidamente y están de frente al combate.
Mura limpiando la zona para salir con pulcritud. Buen servicio de De Paul para Berterame. A ver, se le quedó un poquito larga la jugada y aparte había buena lectura de la misma por parte del cancerbero Sean Johnson.
Berterame sabe que está en la banca de Suárez, entonces tiene que estar a tope cada pelota para evitar que lo remuevan.
No, y más allá de eso, la posibilidad de ir al mundial también influye en tu ritmo, tu nivel de juego, tu racha goleadora si es que caes en ella.
Si tienes a Luis Suárez, lo que hizo el torneo pasado, yo creo que hay una presión extra aparte de lo que dices para Berterame, no puede aflojar un segundo.
Es que mira, Berterame por ahora y solo por ahora en la selección tiene la forma de presionar de la hormiga González.
Sí, claro.
Y en el Inter Miami tiene en la banca a Luis Suárez.
Sí, nada más.
No está fácil.
No está fácil, te digo.
Manejar esto.
Claro, es con mucha madurez metiendo goles.
Acá está el técnico que muchos conocemos no puedo decir de cariño, pues, pero en confianza, como René.
Sí, y así se refieren a él los jugadores. Cada vez que René nos dijo, René vino incluso otras reglas, René, y se armó muy familiar.
Esta contribución para goles 56 juegos de la MLS se pasó.
Increíble,
de goles marcados y asistencias.
Jugar en MLS no es nada fácil, yo soy un cuento muy viejo. Jugar en MLS es dificilísimo, las marcas, la calidad, la presión, la organización como tal. O sea, esto es infinitamente superior a hace 20 años.
Oye, por cierto, y hablando de muy buenas noticias, ya salió el calendario de la League Cup.
¿Qué va a jugar? Los partidos de México.
Va a haber partidos en México, en Ciudad de México, en Toluca y en Monterrey en casa de los Tigres.
Sí, qué gusto te digo, porque era el gran problema que tenían los equipos mexicanos con esto, porque poco a poco se va a ir emparejando con la localía, pero esto es muy importante y va a dar un golpe fuerte para no quejarse ya más.
De los que me acuerdo en la primera ronda, el LAFC frente a tus Chivas.
Sí.
Pero qué gusto, porque es un torneo que me parece año con año ha evolucionado.
Y la rivalidad que ha generado positivamente.
Además.
Y el argumento era ese, que los viajes, siempre la defensa para, o argumentar para cuando no podías ganar, de que Puceras jugaba siempre de visitante, oye, ¿no?
De agosto a septiembre de este año.
Sí, no se lo pierdas, es muy atento, va a estar informando cada vez.
Despuésito del Mundial. Buena entrega. Ya va Gabriel. Bueno. Se la tiró, pero con venda en los ojos acá. Hasta ahí Barido.
Le dice con los dos brazos, adelante, al frente, no atrás, adelante, le dice con los dos brazos Barido a su compañero.
Nos contaban en una plática que tuvimos a mitad de semana que este Barido, hasta en los entrenamientos, es peleonero con sus compañeros cuando siente que no están jugando bien.
Que los exige, que los trae cortitos, me parece muy bien, te digo, o sea, es exigente para bien del grupo y del equipo. Tiene 28 años, te digo, ya siento que tiene una madurez y la idea del líder que la ejerce muy bien.
Aquí está Jackson Hopkins. Prácticamente nadie metiéndose al área grande. Al área dicho de mejor forma. Barido es el único que está ligeramente adelantado. Allá va el servicio. Era muy malo.
Abajo y atrás del movimiento realizado. Iba todo al frente, buscar la pelota y la pone atrás y abajo.
Messi. Con De Paul. Mura ha estado desde mi óptica hoy bien en defensa y le está costando un poquito ir hacia el frente, creo.
Sí, es normal también, claro, es de los recién llegados también, viene del Racing Club, que encuentras un equipo que es campeón y que va marchando muy bien, entonces tienes que meter a su juego, la idea, la velocidad, no es fácil.
Vuelve con Falcón. Este es el guardameta comprometido un poquito en la salida al uruguaya más.
Sí, es así, lo vas contra el rival y contra las líneas.
Los resultados y el calendario de la jornada son por cortesía de AT&T. Está pospuesto el juego entre New England y Houston. Ganó New York City. Atlanta frente a Real Salt Lake. Charlotte frente a Austin. Columbus, Chicago. Filadelfia, San José. Kansas contra San Diego, juegos de hoy sábado. También Nashville, Minnesota, San Luis contra Seattle, Colorado frente a Los Ángeles, Galaxy. LAFC frente a Dallas, Portland, Vancouver y mañana Red hicieron acá a Serrania fue de mármol, ¿no? De primer nivel. De primer nivel no me refiero a excelencia, me refiero a que
got in the way there. DePaul. Allen. Silvetti. Segovia able to bring it so far.
Still good though from Inter Miami. Understanding they have the 2-goal cushion and not forcing things, picking and probing, using that possession, changing the point of attack, and making DC United chase end to end to begin the second half.
Here's Hopkins. Purposefully into the path of Pidani. Runs into a pink crowd. DePaul. Under the challenge of Peglo. For the first time today, Rodrigo DePaul finds himself on the ground and a yellow card brandished. Away as you are, Peglo.
Peglo has to bring him down here to not allow the ball to get out in transition, but it comes from Yannick Wright, who wins that ball centrally. What he's going to bring to this team is so important because of what it does to Rodrigo DePaul, to allow him to stay a little bit more advanced positions, make that pass into Messi, seen Busquets in the past, but the defensive responsibilities of Yannick Wright in that spot, really opening things up for the Inter Miami attack.
Peglo, of course, arrived last season at the time in the Polish Ekstraklasa, the top tier of Polish football. FC Porto, and let's go with Dnipro in the Ukraine as well. Miscue from Rolls as Mura gives chase. To one side from a DC perspective. Inter Miami have up their sleeve here.
Do a good job of retreating, hitting numbers back. The run from Barivo tries to draw attention, but ends up drawing the crowd. Slight deflection that leads to the corner kick.
Scorer in Major League Soccer this season, Jackson Hopkins. Now into playing his first assist of the campaign. Many of DC players awaiting the service. Hopkins to the near post and headed downwards. Wide of St. Clair's left-hand post. Behind for a corner.
These are big opportunities, manufacture opportunities.
Create an opportunity here. Hopkins with the ball in the end behind for a goal kick. So, a handful of changes on the horizon for DC. As though Nikola Markovic will be coming in, as well as Luis Muntanu, Romanian international. First pick in this year's draft. Canadian from Quebecois. Slovenia. It's Pidani. Canavara needed to do something, Taylor Cup, and he's taken action just after the hour mark.
Yeah, it's like for like, though, in both positions, but but Lewis is the one that hasn't had a lot of minutes, only 33 minutes to begin this season off the bench, a designated player and a club record signing for DC United. Reported $10 million transfer fee for the designated player, Romanian. He's young. They've been cautious about putting too much pressure on him, but at some point, the talent deficit and the TT waiting on the bench have to roll the dice and see if he can change the trajectory of this match.
25 goals across all competitions in Romania. The season prior to last. Expectation for him, and now he is on the ball just away from the centre circle. One ball flashed forward. Goalkeeper on hand. Central midfielder. 24 from just a few short months, the FIFA World Cup 2026 kicks off. Be there to win a single match hospitality package. Get closer to the best of it all with premium seats and suites, elevated food and beverages, exclusive entertainment and much more. Less than 100 days to go, and this is your chance to be a part of it. Another chance to see Lionel Messi one with a shoot. Host of players. Taken away, and that'll be for the referee's whistle. Miami may have found a way through again.
Fortunate one because Miami is going to get out in transition.
United find a way back into it here. Kurakawa, angled ball into the back post. Hopkins back from whence it came. The effort towards goal. Hunter came also close to claiming the headlines.
Well work from DC to pick out that far post, and good communication there from Hopkins to lead this one. And how about that effort there from Lewis? The overhead kick, swiveling the hips up and over, and that does not miss by much. He's a spin on the ball, just angling towards that back post. Good opportunity there for Lewis.
Let's see. Free kick 2 into Miami. The annoyance of Kazuki Kurakawa.
Haven't seen Kurakawa get an advanced position since
had over an hour. Changed. He's still looking comfortable, leading by 2 goals to 0. What's the assessment for the second half thus far, Coda?
Yeah, Inter Miami looking comfortable.
Luna doing the rest for Miami. 3 to the 4, flipping inside. Bartlett got it all the way. DC United and an opening. The back line had conceded 55 goals last season. Bartlett. Fighting ball in. Easily gathered by Dane Sinclair. Seconds to play. Professional soccer game here in Baltimore. DC United marauded forward. Lovely ball played in. Mikhail was there to meet it, and he had to be. Corner.
That's much better for him, PC. Mentioned Kurakawa, unable to get involved in the attack. Well, that's why you need him there. Good service. Early ball in behind, searching for Kai Maribo, and Mikhail does a good job to come over and clear it.
over the ball again. A host of options awaiting the service. DC find their way back into the game. Hopkins to the far post. Still not cleared away. Bradley got a piece of it. All host of Miami players threw themselves in front of the ball. The free kick for Inter Miami. Well, this exclusive Netcam replay is brought to you by AT&T.
Bartlett has been the target for DC United coming forward. Second ball when it drops down, it ends up getting signaled towards the high blue there. But these opportunities so far have looked like the best option for DC United to try to find their way back in.
Bolvia, the Venezuelan international. Falcon. Facundo Mora. Falcon. Happy to continue to pass the ball amongst themselves. Miami, the shape of Messi. Segovia, Messi. Under the challenge from Antipotola. Teglo off to the races now. There an opening for DC United. Right-footed Brazilian Teglo. Inviting ball played in, headed away. Another ball played in and headed towards goal. In the end, over the bar, the DC United players think it should be a corner.
DC doing a better job of committing numbers in the box. You see four awaiting the service, and this gets up, but it's a difficult one because it's behind him to try to generate that one on target, and does look like it goes off the fingertips of Payne St. Clair there, but cannot review that.
20 minutes to play. What has been a vibrant atmosphere in M&T Bank Stadium. Winning the ball. Several forcing Falcon out. Falcon under pressure. Here's Segovia. Messi driving Miami forward. Betarame just unable to combine with the World Cup winner. Touch for a throw now to DC. So changes on the horizon perhaps for Javier Mascherano's into Miami. Kick now for the away side. Allen. Another free kick. I wondered at some point would we see Allende. 8 goals in 6 playoff games at the end of the 2025 campaign. He'll be coming in for Matteo Silvestri, who was once again given a good account of himself, Taylor.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent today, and seeing I pass in behind to Messi, connection bearing fruit, the 20-year-old Argentine youth international, and fall in behind to Messi. Just perfectly weighted to allow him to take that first time to now be up 2 goals.
He scored in MLS Cup as well, did Allende. 24 goals in all competitions last season for the former Celta Vigo man.
And not a bad option to bring off the bench. Set an MLS record in the playoffs last year with 9 goals on their way to the MLS Cup, and comes off the bench. I like that they left Berterame on, though. I think if you were to get greedy, which Inter Miami have the luxury of doing, and Mascherano, is to try to see if they could get Berterame off the mark in this match before they go into CONCACAF
volley's tiled forward for Miami. Buda. Hugo to Paul. Valencia and Atletico Madrid man. Falcon. Primera winner in Chile with Colo Colo. The powerhouses of Chilean football. Mikael. Allen. DC back in possession. Couple of forward now to Baribo. Can he get himself involved? Actually now driving DC forward to win a throw. He's looking to get himself involved. The linesman has raised the flag on this near side. A throw to DC United. Played in, it's kicked away by Bright, and Colbert finds himself in behind. Will be a corner to DC. Starting to run out for DC United. Could they with this set piece? Hopkins with the ball in. Away towards the Caspian goals. Segovia doing the rest and Messi picking up the scraps and playing it into the wide areas. Numbers favouring Miami. The ball across. Not the delivery Miami were looking for. Furukawa with a really good piece of defending.
Had to get that one right because Inter Miami were in with multiple numbers coming towards that far side. That transition moment with DC United leaving bodies in the box trying to go for the corner. Quickly Inter Miami got out. Good tackle there from Furukawa.
Baribo ahead. Into Hopkins! Very good save! Baribo with the follow-up! Now then! Ty Baribo with the second goal for DC United! He's half the deficit and given DC United half a chance! On we go! Don't you dare go anywhere!
Well, in a game that felt comfortable for Miami, they get too casual. The ball across, a square ball back from Segovia that goes the wrong direction. The great little ball there from Peglo and the right decision there from Hopkins to hit that one low and hard across the frame. A lovely little outside of the right foot ball, and this is why you hit it to the far post, because it leaves it on the doorstep if there's any save, if there's a deflection. And who else would you want in that position than their new number 9, Ty Baribo, with his second of the season to bring DC United right back in this.
37 goals in 2 seasons in Austria before the move to Philadelphia Union. 19 goals in all competitions. The natural goal scorer, the natural predator. The reason why DC United spent as much as they did on him. 15 minutes to play and they're back in it, Caleb.
And we will leave the door open for you. To take those chances, and we talked about decision making from DC United when they get into those spots, and Peglo finally makes the right choice there. Hopkins as well pays off with their number 9, getting a one-touch goal. He scored his first 10 last season with one-touch finishes. The movement of a number 9, to be able to sense where the space is to get into those dangerous spots. He's got 2 goals to begin this season, both of them one-time finishes. One against his former side in Philadelphia. Give them all 3 points on their home opener, and still a big one to bring them right back in this match against Inter Miami.
Cole finds himself on the ground after finding himself as the recipient of a testing challenge from Luis Montano.
Falcon's just clever here. He's just trying to give Dane St. Clair a little bit more time, and second the contact comes, he's going down, and the referee gives him the decision.
The Chicago Fire will look to keep their going strong as they visit the Columbus Crew in this week's Walmart Saturday Showdown. Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. What a contest that can prove to be.
Rick Berhalter hits the headlines for me. What he was able to build with Columbus Crew, taking them to MLS Cup, and really the style of play that he imparted for that club, and then going to the national team, coming back to Chicago, trying to build a powerhouse there. I think the team, both teams there, are trying to climb up the Eastern Conference.
Miguel. But the next goal in this one should have come. We're massive to the outcome, but not.
Wouldn't have stopped DC and created much really in the second half, and this game has become academic as anything but at this point.
Messi with a lovely ball in behind. Allende on hand here for Miami. Mura down under the challenge. Referee says no. Roll clears away. Only into Rodrigo de Paul. For a throw on the far side. Was it?
Miami doing a good job. It's a lovely ball in behind with the back heel. Furukawa comes in. Allende plays the ball into Mura. I think that's a good decision. Not enough in it. The shoulder to shoulder. Looks like he's looking for it for me, for Mura, and I like the idea that they're allowed to battle for that one.
To Garrido. Here comes DC United again. The sphere has all of a sudden changed here. Much more tense inside the walls of M&T Bank Stadium. Misguided pass from De Paul. Furukawa on the ball now for DC United. Play goal. On defensive duties. She's using wonderfully as he has done all afternoon here. Here he is again. Messi. Miguel. Able to bring it forward. This has dropped. The atmosphere is soured somewhat. Cold evening here in Baltimore. Almost feels like a playoff game. From Falcon. United's no blood in the water.
I think that's part of the dynamic of playing in front of a crowd this size, is trying to earn a little bit of their trust and belief to see if you can get your way back in this game.
Kessie across goal. Still not cleared away as DC look to find an equaliser. And press, they prod, they continue to push. And now Miami looking to counter. Segovia. Minutes to play.
The other component of it is DC have sent bodies forward. They've committed numbers. They're happy to dance with danger and allow Inter Miami in one-on-one situations in transition. They've not been clean in the moments that they've needed to make big plays. Furukawa, especially on two of them, done a good job of retreating and stopping the danger, but they're pushing numbers forward. Only a few minutes left in this match, and there's plenty of time. Miami on the other side looks like they're trying to slow down the game to kill a little bit of the energy that DC United have had.
Well, DC looking for another spark. Will they get it? in the shape of former Minnesota United man Caden Clark. Suggests with a point to prove, no better place to do it against Lionel Messi with 9 minutes remaining, Caelan.
Energy has shifted since the substitutions have come in. Kovic and Lewis up top, and so just bringing a little bit of bodies, fresh legs into the game at this point, trying to cause some havoc.
Kovic amongst the crowd. Kael, Bright, and DePaul. Miami flawlessly manoeuvring through. Rodrigo DePaul, across the face he goes. Out of reach of Veterane. Keeps the ball in play, and the recipient of a rather rash and wayward challenge from Caden Clark.
Round of applause from Bertrame, but effort from him to keep this ball in play, to slide to save that. With the 1-goal advantage, it question commitment of the number 9 and whether he's willing to do the dirty work. He answered it there, and it allows Inter Miami just to take their foot on the ball a little bit. Waited that first goal for doing the dirty work once again.
Miami comes in here. It's like a near eternity ago since Lionel Messi scored to give them a 2-0 lead in the first half. Colfilla receiving a lecture of some sort. Rodrigo DePaul, the player over the set piece here. Into Rodrigo DePaul. Lovely inviting ball in, headed towards goal and easily gathered by Johnson. Flashes the ball forward in hope here for DC, who win themselves a free kick. To get themselves underway quickly. Three. Things down here.
Got Lucas Bartlett pushed all the way up in advance of this dead ball. If they can target him on the back post against South Cone and try to knock this one across.
Well by the referee. Go again.
How clever he was on the last one of using the contact against trying to draw the foul there, but tough matchup against Bartlett.
To the far post, and Kael is there to clear away. The DC United coaching staff are off the bench. They feel as though there was a foul inside the area. Kael away. Here's Caden Clark. Take long. Flashing ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Sanu giving chase and Noura defending diligently. The best assist of the match is presented by Lowe's. Our members score more, and what a party behind this was for the Messi goal.
It's a brilliant pass, and it's perfectly well weighted so that Messi can take this first time. It places that right into the pass, understands exactly where he's going to end up. Wonderful ball in behind from Silvetti, and an even better finish from Lionel Messi.
The difference, James St. Clair receives a yellow card for taking his time. 4 minutes plus added time here at M&T Bank Stadium. The ball into the wide areas. Rebo getting the better of Mikael, who commits it. Here's Caden Clark. Fontenot awaiting. Clark across the face. Falcone with a really important intervention. Corner.
DC have gone direct and
Segovia. Miami and Javier Mascherano trying to preserve what they have, it seems.
They've certainly found themselves in a much more complicated fixture than they had expected, and halftime it felt that third goal was going to come from them and take the foot off. Now ended up in a bit of a dogfight here in Baltimore.
So a corner for DC United in the dying embers of a thrilling contest. Caden Clark over the set piece. Can they? Could they? The stadium holds its breath. Clark to the near post. Will get a second stab at it. To the back post this time. Will lined himself up. Here's Kurokawa down to Peglo. Trying to return the favour. Kara, very good piece of defending from Moura. Not for the first time here today. Another corner for DC.
Moura's been very good defending that right flank. Kurokawa coming over. Really good job of blocking it.
In comes the set piece. Catching practice for Dave St. Clair. Forward. Changes the DC have sparked light. Well, we're going to have another change to DC. Jacob Murrell dressed and ready to come on. Interane. Away by Bartlett. Right, although he gives the ball away. Helpfella. Forward now for Clark. Fanu asking questions. Caught there to answer. Seems too stern by Swiss fullback Hefty. Starts again. It's going to tell of two halves here. M&T Bank Stadium. 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes for DC United to find the equalising goal, or for Inter Miami to hold on. Here's Caden Clark on the ball. Montanu ahead. Clark. Did a little flick on Peglo. To Markovic. Markovic again. Montanu. Falcon able to answer the call. The decision goes in favour of Inter Miami. So one last roll of the dice for DC United. Antti Peltolä's evening ends prematurely. Jacob Murrell comes on. Boy from Forest Hills, just 34 miles north of here, with his college soccer at Georgetown. Played amateur with the Annapolis Blues. He's an individual that's more than familiar with what football means in these parts. What a moment and a major opportunity for him, Caden.
I think he's 40 some odd tickets for friends and family, and he's found some big moments in clutch time for DC United.
As does this man, Messi, into Bertarame! Very good save by Sean Johnson, and Murrell there to clear. To Paul, Messi. Messi, Bertarame, and over the bar. A chance to seal it to Miami, and Rodrigo to Paul. Glorious opening.
Put everything on DePaul, finishing that. It was so well worked from Messi out to Bertarame, and it's just on the doorstep to ice the game. And DePaul, who already has a goal to his name today, unable to put it away. DC still alive.
Moved to regret not taking the chance. Is Hefty on the ball for DC United. Down the line he goes. Caden Clark across and behind for a corner. Another chance for DC United in the dying embers of the game.
Caden Clark wasn't able to get this one past the first man on the last time, and Hopkins struggled with one earlier. Perfect from dead ball situation has not been good enough. Crucial moment. Have to get this one right here.
Grant's ball into the far post it goes. Scraps picked up on the far side. Lovely inviting ball in, heading towards goal. In the end wide.
Rolls, who stays up from the center back position. He's just looking to try to flick that one on. You can see the frustration. Reprieve there. Oh, missing that opportunity on the doorstep. Looking for one more chance to see if they can find the equalizer.
Here we have one more chance. Hefty. The better of Lionel Messi is Caden Clark. Entering now or never territory for DC United. To the final minute we go. Not the pass that they were hoping for.
Bodies up from DC with Lewis and Rebo and Merle just waiting, and that one's
back again into the final 30 seconds. Caden Clark. To the edge he goes. Clark. Montanu. Vital touch from Falcon. Markovic. Peglow. Peglow's ball in. Up but not away by Allen. Bartlett involved in the penalty area, and in the end the free kick awarded to Inter Miami, much to the dismay of so many inside the stadium.
You have to give DC a ton of credit for the fight they've shown, trying to scrap their way back into this match here, and bodies forward in the box, just looking for any type of opening, and doing a good job with some emergency defending. Caden Clark just looking for this little interior pass. Eglo finds it back, comes out wide, and they're looking for Marigo right there, and Falcon does a really good job of getting to that.
The clock counts down. A tale of two halves. A tale ultimately decided by Lionel Messi. Rodrigo de Paul giving Inter Miami the lead before Messi made it two. Ty Baribo on the score sheet to give DC United hope and life, but in the end, just not enough. A good showing once again from DC United, but in the end, Taylor Carr, it's the champions who prevail.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see their reaction afterwards. An element of frustration, it seems like, from Inter Miami with the way that the second half got away from them. Messi was immediate into the tunnel, off the pitch in a hurry. See the expression from Rodrigo de Paul. Seems to miss his opportunity late, but that's the standard that Inter Miami have set. Credit to DC United for scrapping their way back into this match, but wasn't enough to take advantage and find a point out of it.
So despite the best efforts from Baribo and co, Miami victorious. And this is the player of the match, and unsurprisingly, the accolades go to the game winner and the best player we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just sense of space is otherworldly, to be able to wiggle his way out of areas, to see the ball bounce off defenders and back to him, and ultimately he just knows where he wants to end up. He can lure you to sleep a little bit, cutting across the frame here, setting things up on his left foot. You just see him dialing in exactly where he wanted to take advantage, and it was away from the ball actually, where he disappears and then reappears in the moment. He's on the back shoulder of the DC United center back, runs across one, and then right as Bartlett checks his shoulder on one side, he turns up on the other, and a classic finish from Lionel Messi. How many times have we seen that delicate little chip to get the game winner?
And in the end, it was ultimately enough, because Miami emerged victorious by 2-1. Countdown is now on the air. Make sure you head over to Kevin Egan and the crew. We have so much coming your way this evening on a big night in Major League Soccer on match day 3. But here, Miami, the champions victorious over DC United by 2-1.